Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Positively Awesome Wrestling Show. It is yours truly, Jimmy Baby, and I am joined, as always, by the man to the right of me, Albert. Albert, how the heck have you been, and how have you been enjoying your wrestling this past week?
I have been good. My wrestling has been fun this past week. I mean, wrestling's always fun, you know. I've actually, I will say this: WWE Vault channel last week put out the 2-hour playlist of battle royals. That was a very very fun watch for me. So
How many times
I
have you watched it?
so I watched the first one. I realized when it came out, I watched the first battle royal, and then I like something came up and I never went back to it. Like I was at work, and I must have just like slipped my mind that I had to finish it. So in preparation for 2, I went, wait a minute, there's a 1. I must have seen it, but let me go back. So not only did I watch 1 twice, I then went back and rewatched 2 a second time. So I've watched them both a total
Nice,
of 4 times now, and
nice.
they're fantastic.
By complete coincidence, the thumbnail for the show is of a battle royal. We didn't even plan that, guys.
No, we didn't. I didn't even. We didn't even talk about this in our pre-show conversation.
We're going into this show blind as I don't even know because bats aren't blind. They're not blind. So
they're not.
Blind as a
well. You know what? I guess that works because we're not completely blind, right?
There we go. That works,
right? You know, we do have some some things in the trigger to talk about, but we do want to see.
Yeah, see Harry right there. He ready for it. It was the first Andre battle royal that I used. I just put in battle royal and used the one that looked the cleanest. But heyo indeed. Thank you, Harry, for being here as always. And Ronald, hello, friend, to you as well. Glad you can make it here with us. No, babe. Amanda says, looking good, guys. But we all know that the truth here is that she's the one that is looking good, and we are just here and bald. I know the blind. I know the expression is certainly blind as a bat, but hold on. I'm pretty sure they're not blind at all. So I don't get it, unless it's supposed to be an oxymoron. Bats are not blind. The idea is a myth, as bats use both excellent eyes, have both excellent eyesight and echolocation. So they're like the exact opposite of blind.
Yeah. So
we're blind as bats right now, baby, because we know.
I think it comes from the idea that it looks like that they're always like,
Okay. What is this? Lawler can recover. You'll have to let me know what that's about, man. I don't know anything about this. I haven't heard
same
nothing.
Here.
I'm assuming this is Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. I haven't been on the Twitter machine much today.
Okay. So I haven't seen anything about him. But then again, I don't. Maybe I'm just missing it. But
oh God,
he had a stroke. When did this happen?
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Isn't this like his second one? No, he had a heart attack before.
He did. Yeah.
Jerry Lawler with a stroke. That's Lawler. It's crazy. When did this happen?
Yeah, I don't. I feel like I didn't hear about this.
2 hours ago it dropped.
Oh wow, damn.
And he did suffer one before in 2023.
Jesus.
Yeah. He also suffered the heart attack in 2023. He's 20. Whew, that's crazy.
It's a bad year.
Yeah. But I guess I'll start with Raw and SmackDown. We had Raw and SmackDown that we probably can pull things from. And guys, y'all know the drill. If you're in the comments, y'all can put the information that y'all want us to check. Anything y'all want to talk about, put it in there, and we'll bring it up if we have the time to do so. Y'all know that's how it goes here. But
especially today.
Yeah, Raw and SmackDown. Which show did you prefer?
I feel like they were similar this week in a lot of ways. I think I just enjoyed watching Raw a little bit. I'm very happy that they're moving Raw up to 7 p.m. next week. I like that I'm going to be able to watch Raw, and then I can watch the rest of Monday Night Football. And
it is cool.
Yeah. It's like almost like an old school, vibe where they started at 7, back in the day, or what was it, 6:57, something like that.
Cause
Yeah.
was it Raw that did that? Because I know one of them started at 6:57, so they get the jump on the
On
other.
the other. Yeah. I don't remember which one it was, but one of them did. Yeah. Amazing, right? We lived in the
I mean,
best
fools.
time.
um, uh, so SmackDown was like a star-studded event. It was like boom, boom, boom. I want to talk about
Yeah.
SmackDown first because I want to highlight something that
Sure.
people probably didn't catch on to. And real quick, hey, bro, you didn't bring the chat down. You've given us information, and I didn't know, so I appreciate the information. I like to be informed. So SmackDown, we had John Cena and Sami Zayn and Brock Lesnar take up pretty much the first hour of the show. You
Yeah.
got a crazy good match between Cena and Sami.
They really showed out.
Opening promos, people are looking too much into the Chicago crowd booing Sami. Relax, they're booing Sami because they're cheering John, and Chicago crowds are very crazy. they're one of the most vocal crowds we have in America,
yes.
so they're going to be crazy from time to time.
Yes,
I'm not looking too much into that. And then we had it closed out with the return of AJ Lee with the segment with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, AJ Lee, Becky Lynch. Incredible segment. And then in between that, you had, what else did we have in there? You had a tag team match, I believe. You had a tag team title match, didn't we? There was a title match. I'm forgetting it already because the tag team match wasn't nothing. It was not New Day, Street Profits. SmackDown results.
Wait, was the Profits for who did they? Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank here? God,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, we had. I'm sure we'll be informed in the chat in a second. Aleister Black and Damian Priest continued their little feud.
Yes,
with Aleister Black standing tall. I like the finish. It continues it without making Damian Priest look too bad because he also got jumped from the get-go.
Right. Which
and then,
I like that they've now given Aleister and Rusev, who have I feel like a lot of people have been saying, especially the AEW fans, have been talking about how they feel like they're directionless, and I'm like, you're not watching the shows.
No.
And now they've both now got like a significant win under their belts. Rusev doing so on a PLE, like they're both now, and he beats Penta this week as well, so he's well on his way to being a contender for Dom's Intercontinental Championship. So Rusev's working his way up the ladder. Aleister Black in a big feud with Damian Priest. Like I'm just like I'm getting to the point where I feel like nobody's watching and they're just blind commenting. The divisions are on fire right now. WWE is not like, and then people are talking about that they're in a down period. I don't feel like that's the case. Are things like as hot as they were when like the Bloodline was there? No. But have they like slowed down to a point where everybody's like, oh man, this is terrible? No, the shows are great. So I just don't know. I feel like maybe they're in a little bit of a stagnant period because we're in that period between like, SummerSlam and Survivor Series. And then, we'll hit Survivor Series, which will probably be a big, thing. But then we're on the road to WrestleMania again after that. So I feel like, maybe this is just a little bit of a down, period. And then we're going to spike back up.
Yeah. I feel like we went through this last year too.
Yeah.
It's just that time. So there was no tag match. It was just the Aleister and Priest match, and then the match I wanted to bring up because there's been a lot of talk about how Julia has she won the title and they've done nothing with her. I feel like she's been on the show every week in at least some kind of capacity. It's usually real short, but on a show like this where you have the stars out, I feel like finally giving her a match where the most eyes are going to be on the show is possible because people are going to tune in for John Cena, especially if they know he's wrestling. Like John Cena's wrestling on SmackDown, I'm going to tune in. Brock Lesnar's going to be there. I'm assuming you still have people that are tuning in because Brock's there. It just feels like it's a big show. AJ Lee's returning after 10 years, potentially. Yeah, I'm tuning in. Right. So all of these things that are happening on this massive show, and they give Julia a match. And I think that is awesome. Because that's the way you get eyes on her and get momentum going with her. Get people behind her, see what she can do, see what she's about. She has the look. She looks like a star. She has that it factor.
Harry, it's a good question. I do. So the question is the thoughts on the Kiana James and Julia pairing.
Harry asked thoughts on Kiana James and Julia pairing.
I like it so far, but I honestly believe that Kiana James needs another client for me to almost make it a little bit better. I feel like her just representing Julia right now it's like one of those things where why, like, I feel like there's still like there's not like 100, like I get it, like she's going to be the person who's going to be vocal for Julia to get her more opportunities to make sure that she's taken care of, but who has she done that for in the past that gives her like that resume and pedigree to do so? And my idea is that if this is like something where they can make it like, hey, I'm also going to represent another wrestler because, everybody in the backstage noticed, my business prowess because I'm a former business person, yada, yada, yada. I feel like maybe I'll buy it a little bit more. Time will tell for me.
Yeah, to be fair, she has been trying to recruit. She has tried to reach out to a few girls, and they've all just turned her down. And I think that's how the Meechin thing started.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was, no, I think she was ducking Meechin's calls or something like that. And then Meechin approached her after she had just got done talking to someone trying to get them as a new client. So I do think there's probably another person they will add eventually, probably NXT call up. But I like the pairing. It gives Kiana James something, and I feel like they probably see something in her with her mic skills that this is the way she's going to get over before she gets back into having matches. Similar to what they did with Sami Zayn and the Shinsuke Nakamura pairing that they had there for a minute. It worked wonders for Sammy. Like at the time, you're like, what are we doing with Sammy? But ever since he got out of that, he's been Intercontinental Champion. He main evented WrestleMania. He was an integral part of the bloodline. He is now he is one of the top guys, and it started with that. Will that get Kiana James there? I don't know. Those are some big shoes to fill. But
remember the match that catapulted him back into being a wrestler again? It was the WrestleMania match with Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Like, like Sammy, like a lot of people, very much question, like, what are we doing? And then, like, he turns around to have, like, probably the most successful run of his entire career. So, sometimes, look, not everybody can be booked at the top all the time.
No.
I think you bring up a great point. I think Kiana James is a really good asset on the mic. I think that, there's a lot that she adds to the presentation of Julia. Yeah. I would really like to see her a little bit more on the show to get her character a little bit more over. I like, Harry said that she could fit in with the Secret Hervis.
I don't want to see that though.
Not that I do want to see it, but it would have been cool if like she was like, if she's like a manager where she's going around like almost like, and this is something that
she's the secretary of the state for the Secret.
It's the Secretary of Treasury, Secretary of Treasury, or something. But like my thought was that I've always wanted to have like I'm an Entourage fan. I wanted an Ari Gold as a wrestling manager, but like going around, jawing with the talent, going around offering their services. Hey, listen, you just got you're at the bottom of the card, yada yada yada. Get slapped around a little bit, and she can, right? She has the ability to do that. So it would be cool to see if that was something that could evolve for that character.
Real quick, Harry asks, I know they were in Chicago, but why is a Raw story ending SmackDown? I'll give you two reasons. One, nothing major is really happening on SmackDown because your WWE champion is MIA, and there's nothing really major happening on SmackDown. And two, you answered your own question. It's in Chicago. The Chicago crowd is going to be hot for CM Punk. It's a perfect place to reintroduce AJ Lee because, I mean, she lives there now. That's kind of an adopted hometown for her. They knew the crowd was going to react the way they wanted it to react, and that's why. That's literally it. But while we're on the topic of Kiana James and Julia, since you say you want to see her with more clients, how many do you want to see her? You want to see her with 1, 2, 3 more? Like,
I'd love it if she started in the men's division by taking a tag team, like has Julia and a men's tag team. I think that's a really good start for her.
Okay, so I want you to give me someone that you would add to the group then, on the spot, doing it since you brought it up.
SmackDown Tag Division is pretty crowded. There are a lot of teams there.
Would you bring in another team with them, or would you use one of those teams?
There's a part of me that almost wants to maybe bring up a team from NXT to fill that. I just don't know NXT well enough to know who to bring up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think any tag teams in NXT fit the.
Not her, like, you know.
Hey, Harry says pretty deadly.
I don't think she fits in well, you know, with them.
I think they'd have to be less comedic.
Yeah, and that's their charm. So why would they want to do it
at the same time, they also have a vicious side to them.
Sure. I mean, look, now I will say this. If she is doing this as, you know, she's being a manager, like I'm saying, like an agent, and she's just trying to get them opportunity, I think it's a good, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing.
She can get their play she can give their play to somebody that they've been trying to shop around.
That's a very good point.
There you go.
Like a part of me, like there's a part of me that almost wants to say, like, hey, you know, put her with the machine guns, you know, and turn them heel, you know, because they're not getting enough opportunity, yada yada yada. But I mean, they kind of just did that with DIY. You can't repeat the same thing. But it would be interesting to see her in that division because almost every other team has like their, like they have like a girl with them, you know, like I mean. Yeah. I'm trying to find like a more PG way to say it, but I mean it is what it is, right? Because the Street Profits have BFAB, DIY has Candice LeRae, the Wyatt Six has Nikki Cross, so it's like they've got, you know, somebody as a backup. It would be interesting to have Kiana there as like a, you know.
I'm not going with a tag team, but I'll stick with the idea of men.
Okay.
It might sound a little outlandish, but business associates kind of thing. Tony D'Angelo.
I don't hate that.
Called up soon. I know it's happening. About freaking time too. I'm a huge Tony D'Angelo guy. I think he has something.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't care that the gimmick is like outdated. I'm a fan for cheesy gimmicks, and he's really good at it. So, and he's really good in the ring. Like I feel like he's kind of underrated in the ring.
I also hate it's outdated. What, the Mafia is still around? Like there's still a mob.
Yeah,
like, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they've kept it updated enough where it's a lot of throwback to like that old school vibe, but it's up to date. Like he's not just like, you know, he's not dressed in a 3-piece suit all the time and like, you know, like talking with a weird accent and like tipping a cap at every, you know, I mean, he doesn't actually tip his cap a lot, but you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like very, very like old school. Like he's got like, you know, he's got the track suits and stuff like that. He doesn't wrestle. Like his gear isn't like, you know, that like, I like that they've updated it a little bit more to make it a little bit more adaptable for our time now. I don't think it's bad. But I think that that's not a bad idea because maybe he can come up and maybe he loses a couple of matches. And then that's when they, you know, hey, listen, you know, she can do the whole, I'll give you an offer that you can't refuse thing, right?
Yeah.
And
like,
then
I said this pairing because that's what they make business deals.
Right. And then if it does run its course or like they find somebody better suited for it, they can just be like, hey, thank you for the opportunity, you know, and shake hands and just part ways. Like it's, you know, a business transaction, right? I think it kind of, that really works well.
Yeah, I can't see anybody else from NXT that I could see fit the billing. So I'm just gonna stick with that. It's completely out of left field, but whatever. I'm crazy with it.
No, I like it. Harry, I agree.
What is up, Lou? Thank you for joining. It don't matter if you're late, man. We just talk about the Julia, Kiana James, and SmackDown in general. That's all we've talked about so far, and then we dived into the Julia and Kiana pairing. Overall, though, we're talking about SmackDown, how I thought it was really cool that on a big, massive show, they finally gave Julia a match to kind of get the opportunity to showcase what she has in front of the largest audience they could possibly gather for a Friday night.
Harry, I don't hate that either.
Harry, I literally was thinking the name Apollo Crews before I said I'm going to stick with Tony D'Angelo. I'm just not a big fan of Apollo Crews.
I am actually.
I think it would work because I personally find him boring. He's a good wrestler. I'm not saying he's not. There's nothing there as far as like entertainment wise for me outside of the really good wrestling. So it could benefit him as long as Kiana James can do it we haven't really seen her carry a whole segment yet. We've only seen backstage stuff.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the true testament of how much legs this thing has.
I agree.
And Ron says SmackDown as of late seems to have certain major moments forced in. I agree. And I feel like it's because SmackDown, the quality of SmackDown overall lately hasn't been that good. So they're trying to give people something to talk about instead of, well, okay, that was just another show that happened. So hopefully they can get it corrected because there's no reason it should suck. They have the talent over there.
And think about it, you know, we got Cena and Sammy to open up the show. You know, I mean, it's not like it was a bad show at all. You know,
No, it was no SmackDown this past week wasn't bad.
Like, it was, you know, it was a good show.
Yeah.
You know, unlike some certain people online, they'll say that SmackDown's been like absolutely terrible. I completely disagree. I think that there are so many people that are so overly critical of every single thing. And I think that what I think is very funny is that there was a point in time where AEW kind of fell into, and I'm not saying a rut, I'm just saying like they fell into a series of good, a string of really solid shows. So there was a point where people were like, yeah, it was good. And people were like, oh, how could you just say it was good? It's really good. It's been consistent. Yeah, I feel like that's what SmackDown's been. It's been consistent. I don't think it's been terrible. I think it has it been the greatest show ever? No. Has it been bad? No. I feel like it's been good. And sometimes that's okay, you know? And now I think that that's what they're doing. They're peppering in these bigger moments because I believe that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get everybody more excited about SmackDown because, you know, now you have, I mean, this was seen as last SmackDown. I mean, AJ Lee, one of the biggest returns in WWE. I mean, happening, you know, that night. I mean, it's a big night.
Yeah, that was, and I want to touch on that too because a lot of people said they should have they should have been more secretive and made it more of a surprise. And no, I think they played it perfectly.
Yeah,
it's kind of like with
if you know,
CM Punk. AEW when they introduced CM Punk,
right?
Did we know for sure? No, but were we pretty sure it was going to happen? Yeah, and that's why that moment was built up as such a major moment. I wish we would have had a little bit longer to kind of build it. It did feel like it happened pretty quick, but when you have so many shows, you kind of have like. I feel like we just had a PLE and now we're about to have another one. You kind of have to make some things happen, and that's unfortunate. But doing it the way they did, I think, was perfect. So, Lou, no, I think it's next Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I believe it's next Saturday. It's you gonna miss tomorrow. You gonna miss SmackDown and Worlds Collide. You don't want to miss Dom winning the Mega Championship. You better call out of zone. Hello, what is up, Millennial Noob? Good to see you. Yes, they are missing Cody.
Yeah,
absolutely. Freaking-lutely.
Courtney, you're gonna have your phone just strategically placed so you can, you know, just see what's going on. At least they're in AAA.
Absolutely, you know? Just put it right there in front
YouTube.
of you, and make sure you can't miss Dom winning the AAA Mega Championship.
There's a big night, you know.
That's history in the making. So yeah, I did want to talk about the Julia thing. We could talk briefly on AJ Lee. How much did you like the overall reintroduction to her?
I think that
this is including Raw too. Like we'll do.
So I'm gonna kind of just, you know, drip from one to the other. I think the introduction of her was perfect. I think, you know, we all knew it was coming. I do want to say that I love that everybody. I've seen so many posts of get ready for AJ Lee to get Def Rebelled, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Now the song comes on, and then it reminds me that this is a very fun song, and it's synonymous with AJ, but it fits her horribly, and it always has his entire career. It doesn't make sense. Like she's like this like punk rock, you know, alt chick, and she comes out to this poppy, bouncy like theme. I actually would have preferred that she came out into something new that would have fit her a little bit more. Completely not with the point.
She should have come out to This Fire Burns.
Yes. Let's do that. So I will say that I liked her introduction on SmackDown. I liked that, you know, her promo on Monday Night Raw. I think it was amazing. I think it was the perfect way to reintroduce her. I think it was a really, really good way to introduce her to a whole new audience. I like the "I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler" line. I thought that was really, it was really fun.
So is that from something in the history of wrestling? Like, did someone else used to say that?
I feel like somebody said that at a
Okay,
point because
I saw someone relate it to a drag queen, and I was like, that's right. And I know I feel like she's probably pretty supportive of that community, where the one of the drag queens lines is, I'm your favorite drag queen's favorite drag queen. And that she was like a big deal like last year. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not.
It could be.
Yeah. Because I was like, I know I've heard this before, but I couldn't remember if anyone had said it in wrestling. Harry will be able to let us know if he has. Ron says silence for me on AJ Lee. I'm interested to hear a little bit more on that. And Harry says good so far on AJ. Real quick, Lou, not only is it on YouTube, it's immediately after SmackDown. So long Friday night. I'm sure you'll probably watch Saturday, though. But you have to watch Dom win the title live on Friday night. That's part of the rules of the Positively Awesome Wrestling Show. Courtney says, well, you're a cashier. It's kind of hard. Pop that phone right there on the cash register, and nobody will even know.
Put a headphone in. Yep, you're all good, right?
So I liked on SmackDown how they did it. I like she came out with the title because she took it on PLA. Right. And so I see it so many times where people take a title and then the next thing you know, the other person has it back, and it's like,
yeah.
But she did it and she used it as a device. Thank you. She used it to bait Blue. I'll get back to that. She used it to bait Becky in, and that's how you get a coward to face you. She was terrified of her, but they're like, hey, if you want it back, though, you gotta accept this match that I'm offering you. And so even Becky still didn't take it, which I feel like really plays into how cowardly Becky is doing. Thank you, Becky. You're the best of all time. And I liked that they used that. I like her reintroducing herself because there are new fans and they're probably wondering why she is such a big deal. It's like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I've been doing. This is why I'm back. Thank you. That's very helpful. I'm excited. I loved AJ Lee back in the day. I thought it kind of sucked for her because it was like outside of Caitlyn, I feel like she never really had anybody until Paige showed up.
Right. And then she kind of
it's like she's great, but we're never going to know how great she is because we don't get to see it.
Right.
So
that's one thing. So Courtney, you said no headphones around. Real quick, what you do is you see what the headphones that Jimmy's got on right now. Get one of those. You run it through your sleeve. Right. This way, you put your hand to your ear. Like this, as you're waiting for new customers, and you can just take a listen as everything's going on. Once it a customer comes up, boom, pop it right out, bang.
Better idea. Get you some Meta glasses and just Bluetooth them into the Meta glasses and they'll play. And you're just wearing eyeglasses. This is how I've gotten pictures places where they say you're not allowed to have pictures. So, nowhere crazy. That's how you do it though. See, you hearing it, get some better glasses, and then it's perfect. They look like your normal glasses too. They literally look like these. They just have frames. They have the lenses in them, and then just boop and listen. And you don't really need to hear anything. The people are just going to go crazy. We already know that for the Dirty Daddy Dominic Double Champion, which will be his new nickname after Friday nights.
It's going to be really interesting that on the bottom of the graphic, we are going to have to just add the AAA Mega Championship into his other hand.
Yeah. I'll do it. I will do it. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
We're here to help, guys. We want you all to watch
AJ low-key, and that's cool because in Becky's book, I kind of got the sense that they did not like each other. So to see Becky again Becky went to like shake her hand or something like that, and AJ like brushed her off and like turned and kept doing things on her phone, and Becky took it horribly, which I would get. Like, she's the new girl, and the top girl is giving her the cold shoulder. But Becky selling for AJ like it's her life depends on it, and AJ putting her over. That's good. That means they're doing good business with each other, and that's what you want to see.
Not only that, a lot of people
did Debo Becky's belt.
A lot of people questioned WWE bringing Becky back, turning her heel very quickly, and I feel like, okay, we've got a plan in mind. We're going to put her against Lyra. We're going to put her against Bailey. We're going to return AJ Lee. Like, who else do you want to be in that position? She's elevated the Intercontinental Championship so far right now and make it seem almost as more prestigious as the Women's Championship in and of itself, where people are just like, oh, yeah, that's right. That match is going to happen. That's right. That dream match for the world title is going to happen. You know, but like we're more interested in seeing this mixed tag match with the Women's Intercontinental Champion in it because the star power that we're, you know, putting into this. I love everything about this.
So, Blue says, I missed AJ's initial run in WWE, so coming back as like a new character for me. I hope I'm sure she's going to be a little rusty. There's no way she isn't. But she was also working with WoW for a while.
Yes.
So I'm sure she was getting in the ring with those girls during like production stuff and still staying. And I've seen some of clips of her and Punk, you know, doing sets in the ring. So I'm sure she's not completely rusty, but she was light years ahead of the talent when she was there. That was the problem. It was like if you were to take Will Ospreay today, I know Albert's not the biggest fan of him, but
understandable.
Yeah. But take Will Ospreay today and then put him in the 80s.
Right.
It's kind of that level. I mean, maybe not that much, but just to give you an idea of how the gap was.
Let's highlight the fact that I think her best opponents, probably in ring wise, for the majority of her run, were probably the Bella Twins.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn wasn't bad. I think they had good chemistry.
No, Caitlyn's not terrible.
But I think they had good chemistry.
We're not talking about anybody who, you know,
yeah.
You
and
know,
then like, Paige came along and they had some awesome.
And she actually, her and Natty had good matches too, because Natty's a great worker and she has good matches with everybody. But you know, that's the thing. There wasn't a lot of women around at the time. It was like I watched. So here's a great example. You want to talk about AJ Lee? I watched a SmackDown Women's Battle Royal on that Battle Royal thing that I watched on WWE Vault. And one of them, I think, was like a 5-women Battle Royal for the number 1 contendership for Caitlyn's championship. It was pretty sure it was Natalya, AJ, Tamina, Oksana, and Layla. Those are the 5. Those are the 5.
Yeah,
you know, like that's the level of competition that AJ was facing during that time. So it's very hard because I've seen people be, you know, because this is the internet for you, putting up things on from Cage Match saying, "Yo, this is AJ Lee's you know, match catalog. She doesn't even have any bangers."
No, that's funny. I saw it and just laughed. I was like, I'm not paying attention to that.
Come on,
Harry
guys.
says, "Who Mina than Tamina? Nobody."
That's right.
Harry pretty much saying exactly what we were. Not that one. This one. He's agreeing. Like that's the stuff she had that was good, serviceable. You got the Bellas, Paige, Caitlyn, and Natalya. Ron says he is established as a reputation as being a supermark for AJ. Man, that's awesome though. I'm a supermark for Dom. I wear that shit proud on my sleeve, man. Love who you love, bro.
Exactly.
And yeah, she has some wild story.
Yes.
But it was always interesting. Like she was awesome. Like I really hope. I think you're in for a treat, Lou. I think you're in for a treat. Since you know nothing about her, I think AJ is gonna be awesome.
You know, the one thing that you saw that AJ was so good is that they were integrating her into main event storylines because of how talented she was, and they realized that they needed to further her star power.
Let's make her a general manager.
Let's put it. She's a general manager. She's, you know, she's CM Punk's. You know, she's in CM Punk's corner. She's in Dolph Ziggler's corner. She's in Daniel Bryan's corner. Like she's in these main event spots with all these big talents because she belonged there.
Yeah, she was sharing spotlight with Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, like Ron just brought up here, Kane, Dolph Ziggler, Big E, and she wasn't overshadowed at all. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's how good she was. So, and before we go on to the next subject, I'll ask a real quick question. You're allowed to pick one match for AJ Lee, and you can't say Roxanne. Who do you pick?
Alexa.
Okay, that's a good one. I saw someone say that Becky is probably the only one that can match up to AJ Lee on the microphone, and I'm like, hold up. We're not going to discredit Alexa Bliss here. We're not going to discredit Liv Morgan here. I think Liv Morgan is probably on the lower tier of that for sure, but Alexa Bliss, is right on the same level.
That's going to be a match that people are going to want to see. It's going to be something that, look, AJ posted that this isn't just a one-time thing. This is a run, right? She said, this run is for you. So my thing is, I think that we're going to inevitably get AJ versus a couple of people. And I think Liv is one they're probably going to want to build up to because.
For sure. Because the mannerisms are there. Like it never dawned on me until I saw AJ Lee skipping out on Friday night. I was like, wait a second. I see a lot of Liv in this. Which isn't a bad thing. You're gonna take from someone as good as AJ Lee.
Well,
Harry says Bailey at Mania for the title. I'm good with the AJ. I'm good with the AJ Bailey match, but I think it's probably going to be AJ and Roxanne. That would be my guess for the title at Mania.
Either way,
yeah. And if I have to pick someone, I already closed that tab out. Let's see. I'm gonna pick Liv because I'm just a mark for Liv.
Also, I just want to throw this out there: an AJ Lee versus Chelsea Green program would be.
Man, I don't want AJ Lee to get beat up.
Fair, but
AJ doesn't look like she aged one bit.
She looks better.
Hey, that's what being stress-free in life will do for you.
Right. She looks absolutely stunning. Like, she has not lost a step. She might have 4 to 7 more abs than she did prior. Like, it's
crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
Millennial Noob with what are your thoughts on Asuka and Io Soul? I'm glad you brought this up, and I hope you're still here. I'm sorry it took us a minute to get here. But I'm glad you brought this up because I've said it last week and I'll reiterate it. I freaking love Asuka.
Yes.
She is the best thing on Monday Night Raw. I love the C, maybe even D level acting from it. It just adds to it.
Yeah.
Asuka's incredible.
It's uniquely her.
Triple H has always loved this woman and he still does. I'm glad that's still there. And I'm glad that there's a major focus, not just in the division, but on the show that's around Asuka. Because she deserves it. She is the Kevin Owens of the women's division since she's got there.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where you put her. She's excelled. And she's been a mainstay. She has good matches with almost everybody. Billa. Sorry.
She had a good. I think that match wasn't bad. It really it wasn't terrible.
I'll say this. It's probably the worst Asuka match I've ever seen. I'm not saying it was a horrible match. But it's the worst Asuka match I've seen. But
it's one of the
better
Nikki Bella matches.
I had to take a shot.
Okay, I will say this: if you really want to know why people are excited for AJ's run, I think this bleeds into this. We're seeing that Asuka put on another really good match with Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella's having pretty good matches with everybody now. You want to know why? Because this generation of talent is so much better. So now we get AJ Lee in that, and we can get an AJ Lee versus Asuka match, which would totally rule. AJ Lee versus Kyrie would totally be awesome. I love that that the character work from Asuka, like you mentioned, the Kyrie, and that's being a whole big thing that's going to start catching on.
The thing that sticks out the most with me with Asuka is when she's talking. She kind of looks off like she's reading at a teleprompter, but I know she's not because I know there's not a teleprompter just there in the hallway. She's just it's like she's thinking, but then she just goes with it. And the way she's delivering it is way over emphatic, but it's Asuka's kind of chaos in a bottle. So it works and it makes sense. And she's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think she's had this much talking segments consecutively since she's been on the main roster.
Yeah, I agree.
It's awesome. Asuka's awesome. I'm never gonna hate seeing anything she's on there. Harry, you bring up a good point. Roxanne probably is gonna be busy with Liv around Mania. That is true. So yeah, I guess AJ Lee and Bailey. That's a good Mania match, especially for Bailey. She earned a good spot like that.
And they have a very good background and story to talk about. Remember, AJ's last appearance, she was wearing a Bailey t-shirt. So it's a very big, full circle moment.
Mela is money, Harry. That's all I'll say to that. You got that right, Lou.
Oh boy.
That's what he gets for talking mess on Dom all the time. I can't have that. That's my boy. EO has been talking more. Yeah, I'm glad.
They
Like,
all have been.
so when people bring up how bad Triple H has booked the women's division, yet we're seeing women on the shows more than ever, and we're seeing them get opportunities like this more than ever. I don't see how anyone could literally do it with a straight face and say that that's a true statement anymore. I just don't.
There
Like,
is.
It's
I agree.
crazy.
I agree. There is a. I was listening to JBL's.
Bill.
JBL's been hosting the Bruce Pritchard podcast for a little while now, and he did one about CM Punk, which I kind of just started on. But he said something in the beginning of that when they were going over some things, and it really, like made you think. Somebody was talking about, I guess, a certain act who maybe wasn't being featured as often, and he brought up a great point of the women's division is so good now that they're so on par with the men that half of your show is now, almost half your show in WWE is now the women. So that's actually less focus that you have on the male stars because you're putting more women on the shows, because rightfully so, because they're delivering and people are wanting to see them. So of course, let's give them what they want to see, right? So if they're doing a good job and rewarding them with more airtime, that's also taking airtime away from other male superstars who would have had that, the opportunity to shine during those times. So you've got to also understand that there's a very big counterbalance on how things work. And wrestling fans want everything. Like, they want Carmelo Hayes to have a match, have a 20-minute match every week, but also feature every woman on the card, but also feature all the undercard guys, but also have a major match with, some of the over guys, but also make sure that the over guys aren't too overexposed. You can't have them on, like, wrestle every single, like, come on, guys. Like,
everybody has to win. Everybody has to win a title.
Right,
but you can't overpush anybody, and you can't do 50-50 booking.
Right, and no one's allowed to lose. Yeah.
What world are y'all living in? This is why, like, because you brought it up perfectly. With more women takes away more opportunities from other people. And whatever, I don't care. Like, just give me a good show, and that's all I can really care about. But it's why I think they would benefit if they featured. Now, you could have two women's titles. You could have a women's main title and a women's secondary title. Just have one set, and that's on Raw, and that's part of that. And then have one set of tag team titles and have that division mainly focused on SmackDown. That would allow a little bit more, maybe not on each show, but at least more balance for each division to have some opportunities.
I would not disagree with that. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Especially if people are completely against the idea of them having an all-women show.
Right.
So, like, there's give and take here. You got to take some, you got to give away some things. It's insane. Everyone is crazy because they think everyone can win, and I don't that's a rabbit hole.
Like people are yelling about the fact that Penta hasn't won in a couple of weeks. Man, the guy has been defeated by outside interference for every freaking week. Like, what do you want them to do? He can't win every week, but also if he won every week, people will be like, "Oh, they're just over pushing them just to shoving it like down AEW's throat." Like, there's no positive, no matter what happens, no matter who the wrestler is, when they're featured or being pushed anymore. Everybody's finding a way to complain about everything. Right. So if you're WWE, what do? You put your best foot forward. You hope that everybody kind of shuts up for a week or focuses on something else, and certain things, kind of fly under the radar. So far, there's no big other story breaking out. So now people are going to start yelling about the fact of how Phoenix hasn't been on SmackDown in this, in this long. AEW fans love to talk about how they just love bangers. Doesn't matter what show they're on. You want to know what happened on Main Event this week? Do you have any idea what match happened on Main Event this week?
And they said, how dare they put Motor City Machine Guns on there? How dare they? And I'll say it because it is that fan base. They put Kenny Omega losing his AEW or the TNA championship to Christian Cage on Rampage. Awesome. They had Kenny Omega wrestling Joey Janela for the title. I believe it was for the title on their YouTube show.
It was a lights out match, one of their better matches too.
So it's like, yo, y'all just saying dumb shit just to say dumb shit.
Thank you. If you want good wrestling, you will go out and seek good wrestling. And that's the thing that really annoys me. If you're the terminally online portion of the pro wrestling fan base, which, look, I'm not saying that as a negative thing, because let's face it, all of us are. Look at what we're doing right now. We're very much online. So we're very, very open to having the ability to see these matches, right? If that's going to be the case, let's go just boot up Main Event and go watch that match. Why are you complaining where it is? They probably got like 12 minutes on main event where they probably would have gotten 4 on SmackDown.
They did.
Why are you mad?
They did what Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali did, and
On
they went out and
205
put out a
Live.
banger, and they were trying to get people to come watch them because that's where they're at. And it's like, you can complain about it and be a fool, or you can go watch it, which is kind of what the intention is, to put them on. Y'all want to see them? Okay, we got them right over here. Check it out. No, they should be on the other. Like, it's the same thing with complaining that certain matches are on SmackDown or Raw during pay-per-view weekends instead of the big shows. It's like, well, they want every show to be must watch, so they gotta spread it. Like, it's insanity.
And this isn't the Attitude Era where we were having 4-minute matches for the Intercontinental Championship every week. You know what I mean? Like, you want good matches, but you want everybody to win, but you don't want anybody to lose. But you don't want anybody to. We want everybody to get like TV time. Like, you can't do it all.
People do forget when Penta does win, because it's like, oh well, he should win, but then he should. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole. Man, I had something. Where did it go? Let's see if it's in the comments here. It is not. Dang it.
Threw you off your game.
No, you're good. You're good. We spiraled. It happens every single week. I'm okay with it. Oh, frick. That was a good one. Okay. Let's see. WrestlePalooza.
Yes.
Oh, well, you know what? Since Ron brought it up, we touched on it quickly. Ron, you brought it up at the beginning of the show, and I was gonna skip it.
I didn't think you were gonna say anything about it.
And we were literally saying before the show, was like, he's like, "What about this?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "You know it's gonna get brought up," and you brought it up. So, are we gonna ignore the Saudi Arabia rumblings of a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia? And I'll make mine real short.
Same.
If you're a wrestling fan, I think you deserve to see live wrestling. I don't watch wrestling for the outside politics and the backstage stuff, even though I do hear about it and I do online. I'll get sucked in from time to time on it. Those are not the reasons I watch wrestling. I watch wrestling for the product they put on TV. And I'm assuming those fans do the same. I don't care about the politics in the country, whatever. That's their prerogative, not mine. I think every wrestling fan, though, deserves to be able to watch live wrestling. So it'll be on earlier. I know people are excited for that kind of stuff. They always talk about how they wish the shows were on earlier. Well, it will be. It's just whatever. I feel like you can't get wrapped up in every thought of every single person around the globe, because it'll drive you absolutely crazy.
Right.
TV is meant to be an escape from reality. So that's it. That went a little longer than I wanted to, but that's my take on it. If the fans are going to be popping, hell yeah. That's all that matters.
There's been rumors that WWE has been thinking about doing 2 WrestleManias and having one of them be in Saudi Arabia. We've already seen that there have been 2 nights. At the end of the day, Harry brings up, I think that's a great way to put it. It's a location. Wrestling fans want good wrestling. I don't care where it is or who it's in front of. Let's just have good wrestling. And you know what? I will acquiesce the fact that I do understand that people that are, and like, okay, Nick is probably upset by this, because if this was the case, maybe London should have gotten a WrestleMania before Saudi. But you know what? That's not the way business works sometimes. And it's the same thing that a lot of people will talk about, like when we talk about wrestling. This person should be in the Hall of Fame before this other person. Okay, you can't put everybody in that deserves it first, because then who you headline, in a couple of years, then it's like your what's it called? Hall of Fame lineup is Honky Tonk Man and Coco Beware and Hillbilly Jim, and you know what I mean? Like, and Mr. Fuji. Great wrestlers who all deserve to be in there, but now there's no headliner,
Yeah.
That's the reason why these things happen. Sometimes certain people have to get something else in order for WWE to see that things can work, and then maybe that means that we will get a WrestleMania over there. So,
Yes. Ron, I'm glad you brought this up, because this is what I was getting my hand up for. They did. Cena teased London, and they were in talks for it. We literally saw Triple H post the picture of him with the guy from London. It was in the talks. But I believe I saw somewhere where London all of a sudden reverted their attention to trying to get a Super Bowl there instead. And once that happens, WWE is going to go look elsewhere. That's how Nick Khan does business. So, whereas I would love to see a WrestleMania in England, I think it would be tremendous.
Wembley's perfect for it. Let's be honest.
Yes, but it's not up to WWE to just say, hey, we're going to do it. Like, there has to be a meeting of minds there. Like, hey, we're going to bring you in all this money. What's our compensation for it? Because that's how business works. And that's why.
You know what, Ron?
Yes, they were.
They were. But you know what?
That one is.
It is. But also by the same point, they got one a couple years prior, though, too. It's not like they
Vegas just had one last year.
And I agree. I think it's ridiculous that they're doing it, too. But what I'm saying, like, I get that it sucks, but, like, if I would be more upset if I was in a place like, I don't know, maybe like Chicago, who, like, hasn't had a WrestleMania in forever. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they ain't ever going to get one either.
They probably aren't. And that's the thing, unless they're going to be playing in Bear Stadium.
It was Minneapolis. I think they were early talks for one, and then they're like, we'll have to give you something else instead.
We're going to do SummerSlam instead, Or it was
2 years for it.
Right. Indianapolis, like they wanted a WrestleMania too. And remember, now they're getting the 2-night SummerSlam next year.
Well, they're also getting WrestlePalooza, which is getting stacked, and it's probably going to be a staple for them moving forward. And just for the record, I still love the name WrestlePalooza, everybody. It's fun.
It is. I also
for sure, Lou. For sure. I think a Super Bowl in London is stupid.
Yeah.
Arizona,
I also think that
that's a good spot for one. They should do one there.
I'm not mad. They're stacking that card, though, because it's the first one on ESPN. And I will say this. Is it just me, or is it that, and maybe I'm wrong, is Red Zone not on the ESPN app?
No, it's not. It's because they don't own the NFL Network, do they?
They bought Red Zone, though.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the ESPN app. I have not done anything, so I don't know.
I have it because I have the Disney, Hulu, ESPN package.
Yeah.
So,
I think we have it. I just have not done anything with it because I haven't needed to.
I just try to watch Red Zone, and I was just a little upset.
I was at work. I was at work, so I just put it.
I was at my parents' house for most of the day on Sunday anyway, and I was really just watching the Jets game as the Jets game was on. So, but yeah,
Ron,
I'm a little concerned because I just don't like the app. So, hope it works. I hope it works well for this first show.
Ron says greatest WrestleMania ever, and this is in reference to the WrestleMania 43 that will be in Saudi Arabia. So to make this the greatest WrestleMania ever, I want you to give me 2 matches that you want to see at WrestleMania 43. And keep in mind, we have an open checkbook, so you can use any single person that is alive today to book for this show. I
mean, is Rock and Roman not the natural number one?
I'll give you that one. That's one.
I think that's like the natural number one.
I'll give you time to think, and I'll give you.
I have a number 2 already.
Mine would be. We can't pick the same matches. That's going to be a
fair enough. Okay, so I'll let you go.
CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's another really good one.
Yeah, if it's going to happen, just do it already. Damn it! And I think somebody raised me like dollar bill, y'all. And yeah. Oh man, I'd die happy if I get to see that match. Whew.
I'd just be happy for the promos leading up to it.
Yeah, that's what's going.
I don't even care about the match at the point, like
it's not the match I'm wanting. It's the promos and
I want that build to lead up to it, and the match is going to be great too.
So
you're number 2 because I went first. So give me your number 2 first, because I have one.
You know what? I personally don't want to see it, but I know everyone else does. So if we're trying to make this the greatest WrestleMania ever by just making all these dream matches come true, it'll be a freaking mess. But people are going to get up for it. The Undertaker versus Sting.
And you're going to say that. I don't think it'll ever happen. But
Harry, great shout, man. Gunther versus Bryan Danielson.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Ron, that's my match for next year's Mania, though. That's WrestleMania 42. That's happening.
Mine is very simple. And I think it's something that everybody's, again, flown under people's radars because it didn't technically happen yet. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. The top women's match you can, in my opinion, the top women's match you can book right now, right?
There's a good possibility it doesn't happen until then, too, because they don't know what they're doing with those two. Oh, my, that's not true, but I just want to see the match. That's a good one. I'm going to do a bonus one because I had it in my head, But then Undertaker and Sting popped up, and I was like, yeah, you have to. Yeah, because that crowd would go absolutely insane for that.
Of course they would.
AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels.
Sure. Yeah.
That's my bonus one. Breaker versus Jacob. Hey, by then they should both be built up, and that could probably be a title match. That could be a WWE title match. No, Don would be WWE champ by then. It would probably be the World Heavyweight Championship title match, though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Don would be WWE champion then. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for the nostalgia of it because that's part of WrestleMania's appeal. Like it's a celebration of wrestling. So, and the Saudi shows tend to want to pay out big bucks to get those big names on the show because those are the wrestlers a lot of them grew up watching and didn't get to see. Like they never got to perform for them. So they're like, yeah, let's make it happen. So the nostalgia would be amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Bro, absolutely not. Get out of here, Harry. I'm not even saying that one.
I would love to just see that just for the fact of just to put a counter on the screen of how many super kicks were thrown.
Over under 50. What are you taking?
Over.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. But yeah. Anything else? Else? Anybody got something else? AJ Lee versus Mickey James. It'd be okay. I don't know if it has the grand appeal, but it'd be good. Like those girls know what they're doing. Oh my God. Why? Just watch replays of super kicks for 2 hours straight and you got the match, man. My God. Okay, here we go. Are we excited to see the Usos back together again?
Yeah.
Or scratch that. Jey Uso.
Let's go.
Roman Reigns.
Let's go. Come on, bring it to
Roman Reigns was a terrible son of a bee. I told y'all he gaslighting Jay and he bad news. And what happened on Raw? Jay turned to the dark side. I told y'all.
Turning to the dark side? Oh, hold on.
What did LA Knight do that was so bad?
He didn't do anything. But what
exactly?
But by the same point, why does that mean that Jay's got to have his back every 5 minutes?
He don't have to have his back, but he didn't have to spear him for no damn reason after he came out to save him and Jimmy.
He didn't come out to save him. He came out to attack the other two.
Jimmy accepted it. Why can't Jay?
Because, like Jay said, sometimes you've got to be a little bit more selfish. And remember, when Roman was a little more selfish, you know what happened? He became the world champion. And he was the world champion for 3 damn years. You're going to tell me that that's not a good thing for Jimmy?
Hold on. No, it's not. Because what happened to that family while Roman was champion? He tore them apart.
They were the closest they ever were.
No, they weren't. They literally turned on each other and left each other because Roman was being a manipulative son of a bee. Like I just said he was. He's a son of a bee. And he was manipulating them to get what he wanted. So now Jay's about to do the same because he's listening to Roman, and Roman is a bad guy.
I completely disagree. Roman is a
bad guy. You don't think fans try to turn on Dom either.
Roman is a very, very smart individual. Okay?
Who?
Roman.
Yeah, he's a manipulative son of a bee. Smart.
And I think that that's what Jay needs. I think that he needs a killer instinct. I don't think this is about turning his back on people. I don't think it's about, but he doesn't have to be, because remember what this all started with. Jay was trying to leave and Jimmy was like, "Hey, you got to stay. You got to help LA Knight." He's like, "Why? Why does he have to help LA Knight? So what does he owe LA Knight to stay to watch his back during that match? What does he have to do with that? There's nothing to do with him. He wants to get even with Braun and Bronson.
Because that's what good guys do.
And so who says he's got to be a good guy for everybody?
Me.
I think that he's.
How about the people doing this? Yeet. Because you know what else the fans that do this like to do? Yeah.
Well, you know what?
And that's why they booed that man.
You know what? One point, Rock and Austin went against each other too, right? We got the Royal Rumble where they were getting yeet, yeah.
And then on Raw, they were saying, no yeet, boo. Because they could see it. They know what's up. Real quick, he let Bronson hit Jay. No, he did not, Harry.
No, he did.
he moved out of the way because Bronson was about to splash him. And yeah, I'd move too. Bronson's a big guy. That's gonna hurt. Jay should have moved too. Not LA Knight's fault.
That's not his fault, really. I will give him that.
Hey, Lou says heel bloodline is good wrestling.
I'm
not gonna disagree, but you got to agree with me that Roman Reigns is a bad guy.
Right, and again, Ron, that every time, Jimmy's like, "Hey, we gotta have his back. We gotta have his back." Every time he's doing an interview, LA Knight's calling Jay stupid and telling him he doesn't want him anywhere near him. So what? Why does Jay need to be there for him?
Because LA Knight came and got those dudes off his back. They were about to obliterate the Usos until LA Knight came down.
They were being completely insulted and being one-upped on the mic the entire time, and the Usos didn't need LA Knight's help. LA Knight decided to come out and just to start fighting people for no reason.
Here's the thing, Lou. He says my hatred for the OTC is legendary. Call me drip jerk. I walked out of WrestleMania 40 with the hand in the air, acknowledging the tribal chief. I don't hate Roman Reigns. I'm just calling it like I see it. He a bad dude, and he's getting into Jay's ear, and he's turning Jay into a bad guy. He's terrible. He's terrible man. He don't care about the family. He only cares about himself, and again, manipulative. That's what he was doing the whole time. New co-host. You ain't gonna find nobody better than me.
Lou, you know what? Lou? We'll call it the Positively Albert Wrestling Show. Bam. We can just keep the acronym.
And I'll be in them comments the entire time. Roman sucks. Roman's bad. Roman's terrible. Jay's turning to the dark side. Jimmy Uso's way better. I know this, man. I know this. We're just having fun with each other. Because, I mean, technically, I think AJ is great. But you like
yes, Harry's right. LA Knight is a grown man. He doesn't need nobody.
He doesn't. He didn't ask for help, but he came out to help them.
No, he didn't. He came out to attack two other men for his own personal gain.
He didn't have to do it right then and there. He could have let them take out Jimmy and Jay, which would have opened the world title scene for him a little bit more.
Sure, it would have been smarter.
But he didn't. He came out to be helpful because Jimmy and him had a nice little moment backstage.
Helpful how? He just attacked two guys for no reason. They weren't fighting. They were verbally having a back and forth. Then here comes LA Knight just coming out to just fight people with nobody. It's not like he was like, oh man, they're going to get beat up. Here we go. Got to come help them. He was just doing it for his own personal gain.
Nah, dummy.
No.
Long-term booking, Roman was grooming Jay to be the next. He was, and now he's doing the bad stuff. Jay was just fine until Roman came and got in his ear. Jimmy and Jay, I don't know. I think they work. Because I think they're kind of they ride that line where their characters work either way. They found a nice little middle ground with their characters, and they work so much better together. So much together. LA Knight is no Dom. He doesn't need help. Yeah, and LA Knight don't got a title. Yeah. LA Knight don't win matches. Yeah. Dom's about to be double champ. Yeah. So, not exactly low. Bruh. Okay, real quick before we go, we are past the hour mark. What are the chances Dom does not win on Friday to become double champion?
I think that there's about a 70% chance he walks out with the championship. I think there's a 30% chance he doesn't not because of anything he does, but because somebody else does something to him.
If we're talking about AJ Styles still, I swear to God, I'm going to go cut that man's hair off his head.
I don't know if it will be AJ Styles, but could be. Could be.
I will cut his hair. I will do it. As God is my witness, I will drive up to Georgia and shave that man's head bald.
He wishes that his hair was as nice as Dom's regardless.
He does. And that's why he's so mad. And why he's willing to ride across the world to screw people over.
To be the hater of the year. The hater of the decade.
Ron says, Rey Mysterio was just saying like he'd be proud of Dom for winning the title because Rey never won it, which would cement Dom as the greatest Mysterio of all time.
He's not already.
Dom don't need no hair. Why would Dom need a haircut? His hair is beautiful. He's got all the women. He's the champ. Everything's going great for him. What you talking about, Harry?
I agree.
And he says 1 million. Well, I can't even read all them zeros because I'm so mad about it. 95% chance Dom is champion after Friday.
I like it.
That's what I say. Man, I cannot deal with another I can't deal with another AJ thing. But that's so everybody. Thank y'all for making it happen. Y'all helped us tremendously tonight.
We appreciate
it. Thank you very much.
Real quick, The Last Vendetta is on Amazon Prime, and on Friday it's on Tubi. So
there we
Amazon
go.
Prime,
Tubi's where it's at,
Tubi.
everybody. That's what it's at.
So tomorrow.
He wasn't dating them. They were just using them for muscle. So yeah, thank you guys. We'll be back next week, probably same day. Hopefully we'll have because WrestlePalooza is next Saturday, so we'll be able to talk about some WrestlePalooza stuff going into the show. Do some predictions so I can beat you guys again and pick the topic of the show next time. I'm going with this one this time, not this one. We'll see. Not this one. But thank you guys and see you next week. And don't forget to just enjoy wrestling.